This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we are in Switzerland. I am here with twin flame Spyrit. Since 2018, she has guided many on a very personal path, leading you to yourself and into your happy and harmonious relationship with your one true love. I am joined here with the founder, CEO, and coach, Yvonne. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Gary. This is an honor and a first for me, and I'm very excited to be here.
It's going to go great. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated with a master's degree from University of Zurich and Lausanne. You are proficient in multiple languages, and your experience led you to the founding and running your own translation company for a decade that you went on to successfully sell and soon thereafter began Twin Flame Spyrit. Share with me a little bit how this most recent venture for you began.
Okay, so yes, that's a good question, of course, that many ask themselves. Also, my former translation clients, where they were like, what's going on now, right? You have a successful business, everything's going well, and now you're going into the woo-woo part of things. What is this, But it was my private life sort of that brought me to the subject of twin flames. I met the person that changed a lot of things for me, changed the definition of love for me, because actually as a society we have a wrong definition of love. We think like needing and wanting and missing and all these things are love, but they're actually not. So I was so fascinated by the subject of that touched my private life that I just could no longer keep on doing what I was doing. I saw that I wasn't really happy with what I was doing. Even though I had a great lifestyle, I was able to travel and work from anywhere, which I can still do now. So I just sort of changed the content of things. Yes.
You have a love for language, and now you have the language of love. That's how I would describe you, really. When we are dreaming of our true love, our encounters with others become possibly storylines along the way, asking, will this be the one? Would you say rather quickly as we grow up, we all begin dreaming of our true love? Do you think that's pretty common?
I love your questions because that's exactly it. That's what we or I stand by, right? When I say we, I sort of speak of a community of people that have experienced what I've experienced and that, we agree on things. That's why I say we, but I see the things the same way as you say. I think we have that desire in our heart from a child as, growing up, being a child. And then society comes in and goes like, yeah, keep on dreaming, you're going to have different partners and you're going to learn and you're going to divorce. And you're like, okay, that's the hard truth, But I do believe that at the core, we do have that knowing. It's really a knowing. It's not even only a belief. It's a knowing that there is that match.
And that is totally true. At the core of us, I think it is there as well. In this day and age of fast food, on demand entertainment, swiping right for an instant date, many probably wonder, is true love even possible? What would you tell those doubters out there?
I would say it is most definitely possible, but as I hinted at before, it goes through a process of redefining certain things. For example, love, right? Love is not hooking up. Love is not even being married for 20 years just because you want a kid. Because doing the work I do, I sort of see behind the scenes. So I sort of get to hear a lot of things, what were thoughts on the wedding day itself of like, oh, I knew he wasn't the one, but I wanted the house, I wanted the kids, I wanted the things. So I'm sort of, I'm very real about these things. I do believe true love exists, but we have mixed it up. We have sort of got it wrong as a society.
Excellent. I mean, over the past 6 years, you have supported countless individuals on their path to their one true love. So let's begin by educating the viewers out there. What is a twin flame? And where does this term come from?
A twin flame is not what you might think at first. It's not mostly romantic. It really has to do with self-growth. It has to do with you becoming who you truly are. So there is that immense love that most people, like almost everyone has never experienced when they meet that person, right? Because they're like, what is this? I thought I knew what love was. I thought I was happy even in a relationship, but then they're like redefining that, oh my gosh, there's this bigger love. But the catch is, so to speak, that you only get to be with that person when you fully accept yourself and find the path to yourself. So a twin flame is more than just a romantic partner that you can find on Tinder or wherever. It really is a tool for personal growth.
I mean, you're right. Two hearts beating as one, two flames uniting. I mean, it sounds hot and passionate, but really we're still talking about two individuals that are working this out together. As an experienced twin flame coach, you teach how to finally unite with your twin flame. Without proper guidance, can this process be a bit overwhelming and rather time consuming?
It is highly overwhelming, and I always say it almost can't be done with support because it is so challenging. It challenges you on every level. Like, it throws apart your life you had so far. Like, everything you believed in, all of a sudden you question, and you do think like you're just having a phase and you're being crazy, and what is this? So I do feel it's almost essential to have an expert by your side. And I always say, I don't guide you into union with your twin flame. I can't do that. That is like sort of in the hand of the divine. But I guide you to yourself, and I point out where you're standing in your own way, where you're not loving yourself. And that is essentially the path to then also uniting with that one true love.
Very true. I mean, we're all busy today. No one has energy to waste time. Can you save people time by helping them understand that the journey really begins with them individually? I mean, how important is that to take that first step?
Most definitely. Like, that's an essential part because so many people do actually lose time, in the sense of, even though everything is always in perfect divine timing in general, but if you keep on watching YouTube oracle card readings for 3 years, that's sort of a waste of time because they're always going to tell you, oh, he's just around the corner. He's going to call you tomorrow, right? Oh, now he's going to start feeling the pain. He's going to start calling you. So I would suggest, like, drop that and go get at it right away, because there's basically a mountain of work ahead of you that you can address today or tomorrow, right? Why should you wait for tomorrow? So yes, I do help people save time and also nerves, because you do go crazy if you don't know what's going on.
We as humans were creatures of distraction. If we don't have a coach there helping us stay on the path, we quickly lose sight of what we're even doing in the first place. Let's face it, there are dating gurus in abundance, especially online, and honestly, probably much money is wasted. How important is being committed to the full process that will require much more effort than simply swiping right or left?
It does take a lot, as you're pointing out. It goes sort of against the grain of society of what we do today in our free time. We swipe all across the globe, with not really getting anywhere. So it is essential to like focus and to stay at it. But the process is made such by the divine again, right, that you can't really abandon it. You can try to distract yourself, but you will be brought back to your path of like, hey, look at these things, they're not going anywhere. I always say it's like, if you don't clean up your kitchen, you had a great meal and you're like, yeah, I'll do that at one point, it's not going to go away. Even if you dance all night long, you're going to get home and you're going to have to face the work. So that's how I see things.
Real solutions. I mean, everyone is seeking happiness, yet we all have different stories. From the single person tired of experiencing life alone, to maybe those already in a relationship but still feel alone. Are you able to assist people in all those scenarios?
I totally do. And I think I say it on my website, I thrive at it. What others might think, oh my gosh, that's awful, right? She has to assist people in like every possible situation. I love it. There's a lot of times it involves divorces. Someone has said jokingly, oh, I think you're a divorce coach. I'm like, well, sort of, because cleaning up your old life, it usually involves someone you're linked to or tied to that is not the right match. So it does involve that. And as I said, I love it. I feel I have the sensitivity it takes, the life experience it takes. So it's a pleasure for me to guide people through these very challenging processes.
Regardless of their story or their scenario. I mean, even like you say, those folks that maybe do feel they found their true love, but somehow they lost that magic, they're now separated. You're basically
Yeah.
saying there is still hope for these people, correct?
Definitely. I think there's love for everyone, but it also involves first being able to be with yourself. So I'm not going to lie, many people have not yet reached union with their twin flame. Many people are separated for years, but that's what it takes. Sometimes I say it's like going to a monastery for 10 years. You fully focus on yourself, you leave all the distractions behind, and you build the life of your dreams. It's sort of a monastery while you're in society. So you have to be willing to face that and also have these years of, maybe it's not loneliness, but it's solitude, but it's a healthy solitude. So it's not swiping left and right just to distract yourself from being with yourself, is you learning to actually enjoy your own company and your own being.
I love your realistic approach. I mean, you definitely give people hope, but at the same time, you're telling them, sorry, we're going to have to dig in and go deep. So, no
Yep.
matter the situation or how lonely and desperate someone feels, you provide hope that with them, the two of you develop an individual plan that will get them out of their current situation. But as your reviews state, and I've read them, be prepared for a no BS approach. Is honesty required to experience true change for many people?
Totally. Like, it doesn't go without honesty. I always say the two most important qualities on this process are honesty and courage, because it does take a lot of courage to clean up and to look at what's, maybe not as great in your life, but also within, at these monsters, at the shadows, as psychologists say, right? So it does take courage and a lot of honesty. And twin flames, maybe, some people don't really understand what it is, but I think most people understand that, okay, what is it to, like, sort of get to know myself and to build a relationship with myself? And then they can meet someone who is right for them at that time. That might be twin flame or not, but it's someone who fits them on a much deeper level than what they probably had before.
Excellent. For those who are ready to commit to that journey, I mean, you have many ways to support them, from a community of like minded people to weekly live coaching and even a members only area with countless tools. Tell me a little bit about that whole process that you've created for folks out there.
Yes, so we have a whole set of offers of different types of coaching. As you're pointing out, there's a member area, there's one-on-one coaching, there's group coaching. And since I work in different languages and I only have 24 hours a day like everyone else, we are also constantly trying to, find the best suitable ways of supporting people. And there's changes every now and then, but there's something for everyone, and also every budget. I'm not known to be the least expensive. I'm also based in Switzerland, but I do also believe in you paying a price, investing in yourself, that has a whole different value than you just getting something for $10 and you're like, yeah, whatever, I already forgot that I purchased it and it's laying in the corner. It has to hurt a little bit, but that little bit is you showing to yourself that you're worth it. And this is essential, right? I mean, what is there better than you finding peace with yourself? Like, no car can ever compensate that. So
I mean, Yvonne, you assist others by helping them not lose a ton of time, money, and energy. Because this is not a get quick happy solution you're providing. I mean, the promise that you're providing is if you really truly take the time, go through this time-tested process and work on your inner self to then find and nurture your twin flame relationship. I have to ask you, is this rewarding for you as you've left the world of language and now are teaching the language of love? Is it rewarding?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love every session I give. I love every time I see that light in the eyes of the people, I support. It's the most beautiful thing. And I truly feel truly honored to be able and to be allowed to do that. And I never look back, oh my gosh, I changed. Oh my gosh, I left that company behind. That's the best thing I ever did because I feel I'm truly living my life purpose. I'm living what I came here for those who are spiritual and who can think like that. So it feels very beautiful and rewarding. And the change I see in people, like sometimes people come in so 3D, as we say, right? They have their jobs, their family, they're not spiritual at all. They're like, for 2 months, they're in the group and going, what am I doing here? What is this woo-woo stuff? And then you see them change and open up and become who they truly are and become loving and endearing. And there's nothing better, to be honest.
I think you have definitely found your calling from somebody who had a passion for multiple languages to now basically the universal language of love. Definitely a great fit for you. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, she clearly explains the process and what is required to begin that journey. Read the reviews right there on the website, then reach out today. I mean, the way to your one true love and ultimately the way to yourself is anything but easy. But with a professional coach to guide you and show you step by step how to proceed, your twin flame spirit will emerge. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.